So we were talking a little bit about okra before the break. Not really, because this isn't a cooking show. This is a financial show. But I promise I will tie it all together. So okra, right? Always struck me as kind of slimy. And it doesn't matter what you do, how you package it. I mean, you deep fry it, and maybe it tastes okay. I guess. Most things when you fry them do taste better, but okra is just still kind of slimy. And that's kind of the analogy that I make to annuities. And you can package them however you want, but at the end of the day, it's still not really a particularly great product. A lot of non-disclosure in the disclosures, if you know what I'm saying there. A lot of kind of marketing that doesn't really tell the whole story. It kind of preys on people that are scared about what might be happening in the world at large. And we get it. I mean, we read the headlines just as much as the next person, and there's plenty of them that make us worried and scared about what tomorrow may bring. But we've always been a proponent of, when you're investing money, when you're making decisions, whether it's about your money or pretty much anything in life, right? You don't really want those decisions to be fear-based, right? I mean, you don't want to make a decision based upon an emotion that is as raw as fear, right? Because the statistics don't lie. I mean, when you look at the emotional response that comes with fear, it creates in human beings an emotional response that is 3 times greater than the equivalent response that we have when we are calm or when we're experiencing something fun. So if you're allowing that emotion that has tripled the impact on you to make an investment decision, we would argue that that's not going to be the best possible decision that you can make. So let's start with what an annuity is. An annuity is basically an insurance contract. That's what it is. It's between you, or should you decide to invest in an annuity, you would be the contract owner, the investor, if you will, in it. And the other side of the party is the insurance company. So those are the two parties to an annuity. And typically there's 2 other parties. There's an annuitant, which is sometimes it used to be back in the day where annuities were annuitant driven. That's the person whose life it is that you measure out kind of how the annuity pays out in terms of death benefits or income streams or things like that. Most annuities these days are now kind of owner driven, so you don't hear as much about the annuitant. But then the other party is the beneficiary, right? So as with any typical investment account, retirement account, whatever the case may be, you can name a beneficiary on that. So those are sort of the parties to the insurance contract that is the annuity. If an annuity is an insurance contract, then in a lot of ways that's like how your homeowner's policy would work, or any other type of insurance is intended to sort of transfer risk, right? And so the annuities, and you come into the financial world, and they are intended or designed to sort of transfer some of the risk of investing or the future over to the insurance company. That's fundamentally how that works. But as we know, anytime you try and transfer risk to another party, there's a pretty significant cost associated with that, right? I mean, check out your homeowner's insurance bill right now. There's a cost to that. And so with that cost, particularly when you talk about investing and your return, the higher those underlying costs are, then the more or the less you actually wind up making, because the higher those costs are, it erodes your return and ultimately winds up reducing down what your actual return is over time. So we got 2 examples, and if we got time, I'm going to stick a third one in there, just to give you some specifics of what we hear on some of the advertisements, even some of the programs that are on some of these radio stations that we are also on talk a lot about these particular products. And there's sort of 3 examples that we're going to give, 2, maybe a third, stay tuned, that really sort of underscore what our chief concern is with this product, beyond the notion of that we think that this product is oftentimes promoted or encouraged based upon fear. And the numbers would bear that out. When you look statistically at how annuity sales go, they spike every time in a year where uncertainty and investor concern is the highest. And so those numbers drive annuity sales. And so whenever you have a tough year economically or market-wise, you see annuity sales going up. So anyway, so we've got two, maybe three specific examples of kind of how it actually works. So thanks for joining into the program here, of course. This is Dollars and Cents, where we help you make sense out of all of life's decisions involving your dollars. We're one of Central Florida's longest running radio programs. Next year, our firm celebrates our 40th anniversary. So we've got that big 4-0 to look forward to next year. My name is Joel Garris. I'm a certified financial planner, certified financial fiduciary with Nelson Financial Planning, where we got a team of great folks who also stand ready to help you. No matter where you are in your financial journey, we are here to help. We don't have any account minimums, and all of our conversations are, of course, free of charge. So maybe you've been approached to put money inside of an annuity. Guess what? We would encourage you to ask for a second opinion on that. So before you do that, come on in, have a conversation with us, and let us kind of tell you exactly what is going on with the product, so that you're not sitting in my office and we're looking at the product that you've already purchased only to discuss the 15-year surrender schedule that applies on the product. So you've got to really pay attention to all of these kinds of issues. But specifically, we're going to talk about three different things. And we get it, these product sales and all of that, it is a huge volume across the board. And we understand it plays on fear, and it's easy to become vested in these types of products as a result of that. But I'm going to start with the first item. And that is this notion, these annuities, these fixed annuities, these equity-linked annuities. And you've heard us talk about this before. Folks, if you're told that there's an investment product out there that gives you all the upside of the market with none of the downside risks, let me say that again. If there is an investment product that gives you all the upside of the market and you never have to worry about the market going down, yeah, that's probably not how that works, right? I mean, unless you suspend your belief in how things actually work, that's not how it works. There's fine print in those. There's long surrender schedules. There's the elimination of dividends as part of that market return. And the mathematical wizardry on these things and how they measure point to point, this index, that index, is just amazing. They got a team of actuaries and mathematicians that ultimately make sure that it goes very much in favor of the insurance company in terms of the calculation. We see clients trapped in these products all the time. Their 15-year surrender charge schedules are normal. That means that if you want to get access back out of your money, well, then there's a cost. And there's a pretty significant cost that lasts for a really, really long time. Why does that exist? Well, because if the insurance company is going to make the promise that it is making in these products, then they need to hold on to your money for as long as possible in order to ultimately hold that money throughout the entirety of an economic cycle. And if the insurance company can do that, and they do that because if you take your money, then you're going to be hit with a charge, and then insurance companies are going to be made whole anyway. But if they do that, then ultimately they wind up coming ahead because they're taking that money and ultimately using that and investing that on their own accord. So that's the first way. The second thing is these income benefits. And these income benefits really are deceiving in terms of how they're advertised because they play a little shell game with the math. And we're going to explain that shell game that they play with the math, but we got to take a break first. So hold on through the break. We will be back to continue this conversation of why annuities are like okra, as we started out the segment. So with that, we'll take a break. This is Dollars and Cents with Joel Garris of Nelson Financial Planning.